Let's go for it. Saturn
Saturn
Awards.
Awards. Oh God, you guys out there don't know where they are. They've been around 40 years, I think. Right? It's the 40th Saturn
Mm-hmm.
Awards,
40 years.
and supposedly they're supposed to be awards for science fiction,
Mm-hmm.
science fantasy, and horror films. Supposedly.
Right.
All right. So you got a copy of the list up?
Nope.
Okay. I got a copy of the list up.
I got the pictures. I got the
Oh,
photos.
okay.
That's what a Saturn Award looks like. See? Photos. That's what a Saturn Award looks like.
Best comic to film motion picture. You got three Marvel properties and only one DC property.
Oh, wow.
You got Iron Man 3,
Mm-hmm.
Thor the Dark World, Wolverine, and
Mm-hmm.
Man of Steel.
Okay.
Now, out of these four, the only movie that I remember followed a comic book, it was the Wolverine. Frank Miller, back in the 80s, did a Wolverine story where Wolverine goes to Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what the movie was loosely based on that comic. These other ones were just movies. I don't see a adaptation from a comic to a film except for the Wolverine.
Well, these awards, is it really more about like sales? Is it really staying true to the character? What is it really about?
It's always politics.
You know, because
Yeah.
Saturn Awards is new for me. I didn't realize this was a 40-year thing until I looked it up, and I was like, oh wow, that's interesting.
And I don't know how much previous wins might take into effect for the winner of. You know how like if you win the Golden Globe, you're probably going to win the Oscar.
Right.
I don't know if that affects this as well. You know, if it
Mm-hmm.
does, then just give it all to Gravity, give it all to Frozen, give it all. It's going to be.
They are still hyping up Gravity a lot, and of course they're still talking about Frozen. You know, Frozen was directed by a female director.
Yeah, she's nominated.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it also beat Toy Story 3 as Disney's all-time best-selling.
Yes, it did.
I, I still don't know why. I don't know why either one of those movies. Um, but let's see. Do you see the list there or?
I got all the photos, sir.
Oh man, okay.
The pressure's on Dean.
Oh, all right. Because they got like 30 categories in this. They just roll down.
Is this
Best
televised at
science
all, or
fiction
no?
film.
Do you know if it's televised?
Of what? I've seen it televised before. I don't know. I know it's going to be in June.
Okay.
Um, let's go to some of these really weird ones. All right, best horror film. They got the Purge. This is the End. I thought that was a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Warm Bodies, Mama. The Conjuring. That should win. They got Carrie on the list. Why? No one liked Carrie. I mean, it was a rotten remake.
Nobody liked Carrie.
Nobody liked that. No way.
That's funny.
This is. All right, look. Best action adventure film. This is why I start going crazy. Fast and Furious 6. Sci-fi? Sci-fantasy? Horror?
Not at all. Not at all. I
What?
mean, you
Okay.
can use 3D glasses, but
This
that's
is
about
where
it. You know, it looks great.
another crazy
IMAX,
thing.
but
Jack Ryan, sci-fi, science fiction. No, but you have to say adventure film. The Book Thief.
oh my goodness, really?
The Book Thief was an adventure film.
I technically, because it's you're going on an adventure, I guess. in your mind, or I don't know. Because you really, that's why they say sci-fi adventure, or they'll say action sci-fi. You know,
What's this doing under a sci-fi? It's supposed to be sci-fi, sci-fantasy, or horror.
right,
They threw a category action adventure.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they're
just don't.
stretching. They just want to give awards away. Um, that's why they need to dip into more of the independent films, or low budget films, because just because something's a big budget and because there's an IMAX version doesn't automatically make it fit these other
Yeah.
categories. I think that's what they're doing.
Well, best supporting actress. Okay.
Mhm.
Nicole Kidman for Stoker.
Mhm.
Melissa Leo for Prisoners. I think that was that Hugh Jackman movie.
Mhm.
Evangeline Lilly for The Hobbit. That was okay. Jenna Malone for The Hunger Games. Emily Watson for The Book Thief. And Scarlett Johansson for Her.
Right.
Did you see Her?
Mm-mm. Oh,
I
the
saw
movie
Her.
Her. The movie Her. I'm like, did you
Yeah.
see Her?
The movie Her.
Like, which Her?
Uh,
Yes, I did.
Did you see the
It was
movie
good.
Her? Okay.
It was a great
Who did
vocal
Scarlett
performance.
Johansson play?
She plays Her. She actually plays the computer app, the program.
Right. We never saw her.
Good point.
We never saw her.
Good point.
She's
Yeah,
doing a voiceover.
that's true.
Why don't we just nominate Susan Eisenberg when she does the voiceover for Wonder Woman on a JLA?
That she
What
actually
is she
that
doing in this list?
would actually be more appropriate because
What-
Wonder Woman
yeah.
is fantasy.
Yeah, thank you.
And
You're right.
action.
That would be more appropriate. What is she doing? I know we all like Scarlett Johansson, but what is she? She's freaking doing the voiceover for this. This isn't fair to the other actresses. I give it to Evangeline for The Hobbit.
Did any other superheroes make it, like Superman or?
Well, yeah, the Superman, and like I said, Superman, Thor, Iron Man, they were nominated for what was that again? Best comic to film, best comic to film movie picture. I think the actors were nominated for best actor. Let me see. We got a best actor for.
That's interesting.
Get out of here. Best action adventure film, The Lone Ranger. Oh God,
Oh,
I'm never
wow.
gonna. You know how I feel about that. I'm not gonna.
Who are the people picking these films?
I have no
They're
idea.
totally off.
Best actor: Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man 3. Simon Pegg for The World's End. Brad Pitt for World War Z. Joaquin Phoenix for Her. Well, he did a pretty good part. I mean, that was
Pretty
not an
good
easy
part.
role.
Wasn't overly impressed, but
You know.
he had to carry the whole film basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty much on his shoulders.
Right.
And Robert
With-
Downey Jr. I know he won for the Nickelodeon Award this past weekend.
Not to totally switch gears, but this is appropriate. You could almost throw out all the movies that are going to be nominated next year. One of them, which will definitely be the new Planet of the Apes coming out. Did you see the promos for it?
For during The Walking Dead, I saw it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Cause I hope they take off right from where they left last time, where all the apes were in the little forest, and
Right.
that's gonna
Is
be great.
Is John Franco in it?
You know what? I didn't hear any reports on that. In fact,
No.
this movie, the production was totally under the radar. I didn't
I
hear
tell
anything
you,
about it.
you want to talk about a movie franchise that had nothing but a hit sequel. The Planet of the Apes are the best.
Right. It's been
I
running
mean,
for
not
decades.
one of them bombed. You know, they've all been great. You can't say that for Star Wars or Star Trek. They've had subpar sequels. You know,
What about
The Planet of the Apes is pretty steady.
what about Aliens? The Aliens films.
Aliens 3 didn't do that well.
Right. But overall, as
One
a
and two.
collection of films, would you say that they
Aliens
did
3 wasn't that good. But as a collection of film, Planet of the Apes,
right?
Aliens and The Matrix pretty much had the best sequels. You know?
Except for that last Matrix we
I
will not
like the
talk
last
about.
one. All right, they had to tighten it up, but
Yeah.
let's see. But the big thing that floored me with
I know what you're gonna say. Breaking Bad, right?
well, that's one of them.
It doesn't fit.
Actually, God, there's a lot of categories here. We need to keep going through this stuff. Yeah, Breaking Bad was nominated. I don't get it. Why? It was I love the show.
Mm. Love
And
the show.
Brian's nominated. Aaron Paul is nominated.
Right.
How's this fit? Horror, sci-fi, or science fiction? Great drama,
Right. Doesn't.
but this doesn't fit. I mean, what are these guys trying to be?
Right.
I don't understand what the Saturn Awards are turning into. Let's go down some more here. All these categories, it's ridiculous amount of. Look at this. Best music: Danny Elfman for Oz, Frank Elfman for Big Bad Wolves, Howard Shore for The Hobbit, John Williams for The Book Thief. And then you got Brian Tyler, Iron Man 3, and Brian Tyler, Now You See Me. So this guy, Brian Tyler, he's up against himself. They nominated him twice. I mean, so if you vote for him for Iron Man 3 and I vote for him for Now You See Me, he's got 2 votes, but then the really scene has 1 vote apiece.
Hey man, I don't know, man.
His vote.
You can't take it personal. We just found out about this award show. We can't. We're new. We have to watch it and see how things go down. But we're definitely gonna talk about it. That's for sure.